So hi and welcome to today's video. So today I'm basically going to be talking about how to actually care for the leather interior on your car. So quick reminder, if you aren't subscribed already, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. I am making videos like this all the time with kind of product recommendations, how-to guides and vehicle transformations. So be sure to hit the subscribe button if you are into kind of detailing and want to learn a little bit more about that. But on with today's video, and that is basically about leather care. So I'm basically going to be taking you through the kind of techniques you would use to do that and some of the different products you might want to actually use to kind of care for the leather on your either seats, your dashboard, or basically the interior of your car. So obviously really kind of caring for your leather interior really starts with cleaning, and it is quite kind of relatively straightforward to actually clean the leather on your car. Even if you are dealing with quite sort of dirty leather, whether it's shiny or there's a lot of oil and dirt and spillages like that, it isn't the most difficult surface to clean. It is quite easy, but you definitely need to be making sure you are using the right products to do this. So really, though obviously you can use an all-purpose cleaner on the leather, but I personally wouldn't recommend using one unless it has been specifically formulated to work on leather and it is safe to do so. Obviously leather is quite delicate and there is potential to cause damage. You have to kind of be a little bit more careful than things like plastics and fabrics, a little bit easier, and leather you have to be a little bit more careful with that. So personally I use a leather cleaner to do that, and I use this one here. So this one is called Colour Lock Mild Leather Cleaner, and I think it's really great product because it's basically a foaming cleaner. So unlike these kind of sprays that are going to really saturate the leather, this one obviously kind of provides that foam, and you just really work it in either using a microfiber towel or you can use a brush to actually do that. So I do that as well. I use Colour Lock Slide Brush to use that. I also use a microfiber towel to kind of spread it around. And I find that this works really well. Even though it is a mild leather cleaner, it actually has really great cleaning
Any kind
power.
of stiff brush will do really.
I've never actually
something that you use maybe to clean shoes, it's going to work well. As long as
steering wheels that haven't been cleaned in 10 years, this leather cleaner actually works really well. So they do have a strong variety, but for the vast majority of circumstances then you probably get away with using the mild one. It works really well. I think it's a really good product. So obviously I basically try and keep the leather on my car quite well maintained, and particularly the seats, as I am driving around 200 miles a week and I don't want the leather to kind of get really dirty, because that's when you can kind of run into problems. If you aren't cleaning the leather often, then that can kind of be where you can sort of get those friction, and basically particularly if you've got actual sort of physical like dirt and dust and things like that, you can actually sort of scratch the leather just when you're sitting down on it. So kind of keeping it clean is basically the best way you can actually sort of keep the leather looking new for as long as possible. So obviously that starts with hoovering. Just giving it a really good thorough hoover to start with, I find, is enough to get rid of most of that. And then going ahead and using on a sort of maintenance detail, if you're just cleaning your interior once a week and you just want it to be really quick, then I basically find that just hoovering and wiping it over with a damp microfiber towel is going to remove pretty much all the dirt, unless you've got spillages and things like that to deal with. Then doing that once a week is definitely going to make a big difference. And then I go ahead and once a month use this Colour Lock leather cleaner. I'm going to leave basically a link in the description for this product. I think if you're looking for a leather care product, then this is probably one of the best you can actually go for. So now you've got the leather sort of really clean, you then kind of really need to think about how you can actually care for that. So I know that when I got my car, I'd never actually had leather seats before and I didn't really know what I was doing. So I did a little bit of research and I found out sort of a little bit more about that and kind of one of the biggest mistakes people make. And I know a lot of people, and particularly when I was sort of looking into it, I made the same mistake, and I thought that you needed to condition new leather. And basically what a lot of people don't know is that the vast majority of leather in cars is actually coated. So similar to kind of the clear coat on your car, there's actually kind of that coated layer on top of the leather. So basically with that, you basically are never actually dealing with natural leather, you're dealing with the coating. And that's where a lot of people tend to make the mistake, and basically they apply a conditioner to the leather. And obviously the conditioner really needs to actually go into the leather to actually kind of moisturise it and keep it kind of sort of quite soft. But obviously if you are dealing with coated leather, then there's no point using the conditioner because it's never going to get past that coating. So I know that's one of the biggest mistakes people make. Obviously on newer cars you can be fairly confident that it is coated. Particularly cars that haven't been driven that long, if they're only a few years old, then generally the coating's still going to be there. If you haven't looked after the interior very well, or maybe you've just got a sort of used car and you don't know, then you can actually check whether the leather's coated, and you just do this by basically dropping a tiny bit of water onto the leather. So you don't want to saturate it, and you never want to do that when you're kind of cleaning it either. That's why I use those foaming cleaners rather than the liquid ones. And basically just drop kind of a little droplet basically of water onto the leather. If the water beads up, then you'll know that the coating's still intact. If instead it sort of runs and it sinks into the leather, then that's when you're dealing with leather that isn't coated. So if you are in that category where your leather isn't coated and potentially dealing with an older car, or the leather hasn't been well maintained, then you can apply a conditioner. That's where you're going to basically actually sort of reach the leather itself, because that coating just isn't there. But if you are dealing with coated leather, then you basically, when you're caring for it, you really want to preserve that coating. That's just what's going to protect the leather underneath. It's going to stop scratching, and in an ideal world your leather would have that coating for the remainder of, you know, however long you have a car. You never really want that coating to deteriorate, because it is what protects the leather. So what you can use instead of a conditioner to do that is a sealant. So sealants basically again work how waxes do on clear coats and sealants do, and they basically form a layer over the clear coat, and they basically just kind of provide that hydrophobic layer. They protect from things like UV, they sort of reduce the amount of friction, they're quite slippy, which really sort of helps to kind of keep that friction down, so you're not really getting sort of scuffs and scratches, and it just kind of reduces the amount of wear on the leather as well. It keeps it looking newer that way. Obviously protects against spillages since it is hydrophobic, and basically just keeps the leather looking new for as long as possible by protecting that coating underneath. So that is the product that I basically use. My car's only 2 years old and it still definitely has the coating intact, so I don't feel the need to use conditioner. I just think it's a waste of money and there's absolutely no point. You're just going to apply it and wipe it straight off. So instead I use a sealant. So the sealant that I use is this one here. So this is Gion's leather coat, and basically you can see here I've actually had this for 2 years now, and I use it every 3 months, and I've still got sort of 2/3 half left. It lasts forever, because all you do is you just apply it to a microfiber pad or a cloth, just a couple of sprays, and it'll coat the entire chair, the entire seat, and basically it just lasts forever. So if you are looking for leather sealant, then this is a really good one to actually check out. So sealing your leather isn't something you have to do really often, and personally I do it every sort of 2 to 3 months, just when I feel like I just need to top up that protection. That's generally how long Gion recommend to do it as well. So I will leave a link in the description, and probably pop a card on the screen as well, for a link to a video I've made on how to seal leather car seats. I'm just going to take you through really quickly the process behind that, and just a little bit more about that product. So I really think that if you are dealing with new leather, then sealants are the only way to go. The only products you need, and don't make the mistake of just buying a conditioner because you're just going to wipe it straight off. You just don't need it if your leather is coated. However, if you are dealing with uncoated leather or older leather, then you can apply a conditioner. That's going to work well to kind of keep the leather soft and keep it in good condition. But you can apply a sealant on top of that as well. That's where I really recommend doing that, because you're just kind of protecting that. A conditioner is going to help, you know, keep it in good kind of really sort of kind of nourish the leather and keep it soft, but it's just not going to protect it as much as an actual sealant does. So older leather, use a conditioner followed by sealant, and newer leather, just go ahead and use the sealant. So obviously these processes of, you know, cleaning and following up with either conditioner, sealant, or both, basically they really kind of work well on seats and also dashboards. They work really well on that as well. If you've got a leather dashboard, I know a little part of my leather is on the dashboard and the doors as well. But one thing I'd really recommend not doing is putting a sealant anywhere near any kind of gear stick, the handbrake, or the wheel in particular, because these sealants and these conditioners are basically going to make a really slippy surface. So it's good when you're sitting on it, it's fine then, but if you put it on the wheel, obviously when you're driving you don't want the wheel to be slippy. It's just really dangerous. So never apply a sealant or a conditioner to the leather on your steering wheel, anywhere you're touching when you're driving, basically, you know, the handbrake and the gear stick as well. So don't do that. obviously isn't even necessary. You basically just want to keep those areas clean. So personally, I clean those areas once a week, just using the damp microfiber towel to wipe them down. And then again, like I do with the seats, I use the Colour Lock leather cleaner just once a month, just to deep clean those, using that and a microfiber towel, just to work it in and make sure the leather's clean there as well. But just don't go ahead and apply any sealants or conditioners to any areas you're touching when you're driving. If you are interested in kind of learning a little bit more about actually protecting the different surfaces on your interior, then go ahead and leave a link in the description to a video I've made on how to protect the interior of your car. So that's going to take you through the entire sort of process and how you would actually sort of keep your interior looking new, protected. It's really good if you're planning on keeping your car for a long time. So thanks very much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it and found it useful. Again, I'll leave links for the videos I've mentioned on screen or in the description. So if you have enjoyed the video, then definitely be sure to hit the like button, comment down below if you've got any questions about the processes or different products that I use, and also hit the subscribe button, as I'm making videos like this all the time. I'm taking you through product reviews, how-to videos, and more basically about kind of detailing your car, vehicle transformations and things like that.